obviously when you don't have a second round pick, you're kind of waiting a little bit. So we were joking that TJ's kind of sitting in the front of the room with us and just entertain us, but I think he was somewhere else tonight. But really excited about Mekhi Blackmon. We brought him in top 30 and really enjoyed talking to him. But obviously everything starts with the film and the evaluation. Super instinctive corner. He's one of those guys who, throughout the route, there's a calculation going on at any moment. There's two things a receiver can do, and he's trying to shrink the world, for the receiver. Plays really physical, plays with the good vision on the quarterback. I think there's a skill to knowing when to look at the ball. Not everybody has it. He does. Somebody who's aggressive in the run game. Just somebody we're really happy we got where we did. He was somebody we wanted to take actually in our first pick. In 80s before the trade back, but we got a good deal and decided to take the chance. And obviously, it's always treacherous. There's guys coming off the board. There's a group of guys that we're considering, but really happy with what we got. Really adds to that room. And Durante, B-Flow, everybody's excited to coach him. With that, any questions?
Kwesi, just were there conversations, or what were the conversations like tonight about trading and moving around? Were there opportunities to move up if you guys wanted to keep something like that?
Yeah, we kind of set just plans and guidelines that if these players were to fall to a certain place, we'll call with this deal, and ultimately you have no idea if somebody will accept that deal. But we had all those conversations. But look, credit to the league. I think the board the draft kind of went how the board was going, and none of them. There was no inefficiency to the market, and there was nobody left that we wanted to go up that high for. But again, we're really excited about. He's somebody that we brought in our top 30. We talk about in our draft like different bundles that we'd be happy with. He was one of them, and we're really excited we got him.
Kwesi, just coincidence that both guys you drafted came in, or do you put extra stock in when you go through that process?
It's a little of both. Sometimes you're coming, you bring guys in because you want to learn something more about them, or just because you like different things. You're asking different questions. It just depends. But again, I think it is always good to get more time with people. We always talk about what's it going to be like when we're sharing a hallway with them. So when you get to spend a whole day with them, and I get to look them in the eye, they get to look me in the eye in a really personal manner. You feel like you get to learn somebody because you can fake it for 15 minutes. It's pretty hard to fake it for a whole day.
Kwesi, how competitive do you expect that room to be just in general throughout the summer and into the fall?
Extremely. I'm really excited. I've seen AB and Caleb, they're putting in the work, and obviously Murphy's got a resume to his name, and obviously we signed Joe Wan, and then we got obviously Mekhi to add to that group, and tomorrow's not done. We're just really excited. The flexibility that Mekhi brings inside and out, AB could potentially bring inside and out. Caleb, I think, showed a lot in his minimal time playing last season. So excited about that group, and ultimately they're unknowns, and that's what football is, taking chances and seeing what they are. And I think we got great coaches and a great process to develop them.
What's your intel who got the better of the practice matchups?
It's funny, I asked because they were here. I don't know if it's the same day or with that. Obviously, they both say each other. Kev told them who's going to win one-on-ones. I just can't wait to see it. I know they're competitive. I've talked to their coaches there about how their practices are. I'm excited to get them. They're both incredibly instinctive players, and they're going to make everybody else around them better.
Kwesi, did Mekhi take a big step forward when he went to USC? Did you see something there?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously there's always a growth curve for players, but I think a lot of it was, you go to a program that maybe wasn't as successful, and you go to USC where they were in a national title, competition the whole year. So playing with that urgency, that every game mattering thing, I think, something he spoke about really, being important to him. And obviously getting to go against a player like, Addison every day of practice and playing against Caleb Williams and all those things certainly helped his maturity.
Kwesi, how much did you and B-Flow talk about this position group, and how much maybe did you learn through some of those conversations about what he sees?
Yeah, it's, every one of those meetings that he's in, he's first a really good evaluator. Understands the language, helps you see the player. But then second, he'll finish with how are we going to use him, how in this situation, things he looks for. And anybody who's watched his defense knows he likes versatility, different pieces he can move around. And we think Mekhi has inside outside flexibility, and ultimately at that position, you just want people who can cover. That's the main point of the job, and I think that somebody can do that.
How do you, I guess, identify when someone can't play that nickel, because it does have very different responsibilities from playing outside?
Yeah, I think a lot of times you're projecting, right? So it's like a running back with routes. A lot of times in college you don't get to see them run the whole route tree. You got to project it on a couple cuts, and it's not easy, obviously. So in try and see when they go against a cut split, where it's more like a nickel rep or versus certain quick guys that you maybe know have nickel type of, slot receiver type ability. Then from then it's feed, it's competitiveness inside. You know, you got to get in the run fit. They got to be willing. It's a lot of different things, and yeah, ultimately you're projecting, but it's something that we feel confident that they have the traits to be able to do it.
Your high picks these 2 years have been from quote-unquote football schools. Is that coincidence?
I think that's there's no variables there. Just, you know, we have a process with our film, we have a process with our combine information, our character reports, all those things, and you know, your first 2 picks can be from the same team, and there's some odds that happens, and I doubt that would happen again, but we'll see. You'll never know.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys.